We'll head now over to the streets of Port Harcourt in Rivers State, where our correspondent Uche Okoro is standing by at a newspaper stand for views of newspaper readers at this time. Good morning, Uche. What are you hearing at the moment?
Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning and welcome to the city of Port Harcourt. We're once again at Education Bus Stop along the Port Harcourt Ikwere Road, which is behind me here. So I'll just start this off with the Daily Sun newspaper. So the very first newspaper that I have here, the Daily Sun newspaper. More knocks and kudos for APC over Muslim ticket. Okay, next on my lineup this morning is the Nation newspaper. Enough is enough. President Buhari tells striking lecturers. Enough is enough. President Buhari tells striking lecturers. Let me take just the Vanguard newspaper before I talk to this gentleman on my left. You have the Vanguard newspaper this morning. APC's Muslim ticket triggers mixed reactions. APC's Muslim ticket triggers mixed reactions. That's the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Let me pause here and talk to this gentleman on my left here. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning, sir. Okay, Mr. Samuel John. So which of these headlines has caught your attention this morning?
We'll just talk about right. We'll try to reconnect again with Uche Okoro, but that promises to be another interesting discussion. But earlier in the studio, we didn't have time to talk about the President Buhari's directive to ASU telling the striking workers to reconsider their stand. Sam, you were making a point.
Yes, I was making a point that there are two sides to the story, and the narrative tends to victimize the president or the presidency or the federal government for its role, and it has plenty of blame in that regard. But it is also clear that there is an absence of imagination or a dearth of imagination on the part of lecturers who think that there's only one path to getting things done, and that is to strike. They have used it over and over and over again. And it is high time they decided to look for other options to get these things done. We talked about the crowdfunding initiative that was that started by Berekete. And they said the thing didn't follow due process. This is the people who are also accusing the federal government of being bureaucratically anemic. And they are doing the same thing. They have to do, I believe what the president said, that enough is enough, but that too, his four fingers are also pointing at him when he's saying enough is enough. He is the president of the country. He should find solution to it. He cannot just sit there and start blaming the lecturers for what is going on. The situation is an emergency. This is education we are seeing. But at the bottom of it is the fact that we do not think education is serious enough for us to put money into it. Tacitus, the Greek historian, the Greek historian, once said, the Roman historian once said, that there are the two critical things in government for the citizens. One is education, the other is health. And if you don't have these two, you don't have a citizenry. Yeah. And when you're killing the ideas, you're killing the brains of the people, you have Boko Haram, you have bandits, you have all of that.
I was also about to say that, because that is hitting it at the core of what we're faced with in Nigeria. You've talked about health and education, but you have also rightly stretched it to include security. These are students. You said, Kelly, that they've been at home since February the 14th. One can imagine how productive they've been able to do with all the time at their disposal. Let's head back to Uche Okoro now, as we can reconnect with you. Uche, carry on, please.
All right, thank you for coming back to Port Harcourt. I rounded off with, I took a pause at the Vanguard newspaper, rather. So let me just continue with the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper, how Buhari doused governors' anger in Daura. How Buhari doused governors' anger in Daura. And the header at the top there says, Tinubu Shettima ticket. Tinubu Shettima ticket. How Buhari doused governors' anger in Daura. That's the Punch newspaper. All right, so I have the New Telegraph. All right, let's take the New Telegraph, the newspaper this morning. Insecurity in Nigeria unprecedented under Buhari. ACF cries out. Insecurity in Nigeria unprecedented under Buhari. ACF cries out. And then we have the Guardian newspaper. All right, the Guardian newspaper. Stakeholders Lord Disco's takeover. Knock regulators for sector's woes. The Guardian newspaper. Stakeholders Lord Disco's takeover. Knock regulators for sector's woes. And then last for this morning from Port Harcourt, This Day newspaper. The headline here, Sanwo-Olu to Yoruba people. Consider Tinubu's aspiration your priority. Sanwo-Olu's message to Yoruba people. Consider Tinubu's aspiration your priority. That's his message there. I don't know if I have any more persons to speak to. Let me just talk to you, sir. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
All right, sir. Can you just tell me your name?
My name is Felix Gambara.
Okay, sir, I see you going through the headlines this morning. Which of these headlines would you like to talk about? Just go ahead and air your views.
Yes, insecurity. Insecurity is the most priority in Nigeria. That's the problem of Nigeria. Somebody's living with fear in Nigeria. Any part of this country, no place is safe. So I'm not happy over it. That is my concern.
So how is this? How is this issue of insecurity affecting you personally here in Port Harcourt?
I cannot go wherever I feel to go. Even though at night, some people go at night on their various business, do business up to 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock and come back freely. But such a thing is not like that again.
So what would you say is the way forward, sir?
Way forward is to give the last solution. To prepare. Government is not much concerned over it. Because no problem that has no solution. Every problem has solution. Head of the military, head of the naval and of police, change them and send some people to course abroad and see what they can do when they come back. Find solution to it. At least give attention, up to 50% attention to insecurity. It's bad. Somebody in the village living with fear, in the church living with fear, is very, very bad and wrong.
All right. Well, we hope that the government will hear you and take necessary action.
All right, that was Uche Okoro there. I don't know if Uche is still there for us. Uche Okoro, are you still there? Okay, so, all right, Uche, all right, still with you. Well, if we talk about the political permutations from your end, Governor Wike is still in the news. The other day he received some governors from the APC. How is that being viewed in Rivers State at the moment?
Well, that's a very interesting development because, it didn't come to many residents of Rivers State as a surprise because, as you know, Governor Wike had earlier met with a couple of other prominent individuals, some candidates and other prominent politicians in Nigeria from other political parties in the weeks that followed the PDP presidential primaries. So the visit of these APC governors and chieftains to the governor's country home in Port Harcourt, pretty close to where I'm standing right now, didn't come to many as a surprise at all. Because, of course, if you've been following the politics of Nigeria, the politics of Rivers State, there are a lot of speculations that Governor Wike is likely to pitch his tent with some other political party in order to further his political interest. And Well, all that remains some speculation at the moment. So yes, people of Rivers State are saying that visit by the 3 APC governors and a few other APC chieftains perhaps may just be giving flesh to these speculations that what is going to be the mother of all defections is very likely to happen in Rivers State in the build-up to the 2023 general election. So, like I said, it is not that visit didn't come as a surprise to residents of Rivers State.
The citizens of Rivers State taking the plight, quote and unquote, of Wike in this maelstrom of PDP politics.
Interesting question there, because you know that several major senior politicians in Rivers State have vied for the office of the president. Now let's talk about the 2 last persons to do so. Chibike Rotimi Amechi, former governor of the state, and the incumbent governor of the state, Nyesom Wike. Now 2 of them both lost out in their parties. Chibike Amechi lost out in the APC. And Nyesom Wike lost out in the PDP. So the Rivers residents had hope that if not the APC, the PDP, that one Rivers son would be on the ballot for one of the major political parties. There were expectations that if Wike doesn't get it, Amechi will get it. If Amechi doesn't get it, then Wike will get it. However, it's going to be a win for Rivers State if either men get it. But unfortunately, both men didn't get it. So Rivers people are quite disillusioned, that they had so much expectation. It has never happened before that in one election you have 2 men perhaps qualified from one state vying for that office. So they had a lot of hope that they couldn't possibly lose out both ways. But it happened. So there's a lot of disillusion amongst the electorate here that, where they perhaps intended to pitch their tent with, that is not materializing anymore. So there's quite some disillusion, I must say. But nonetheless, people are still quite optimistic that one way or another, Rivers State is not going to lose out totally. However that plays out, Rivers State is not going to lose out eventually when the election comes out, when the election eventually arrives and the victor eventually emerges. So yes, there is some disillusion, but still a lot of expectations. Perhaps there's still to answer your question, perhaps more directly. People are quite, upset that the governor wasn't treated fairly. That having invested that much in the party, he wasn't treated fairly. Yes, that is a very, very, very valid concern. That is a very, very, very potent concern that is, dominating the discourse here in Rivers State. But like I said, a lot of disappointment, but still a lot of optimism and expectation that Rivers State hasn't totally lost out.
Uche Okoro, fascinating perspective from your end. Sadly, though, we cannot continue because there's still much more on the program this morning. That'll be all for now. Thanks a lot.